in the emblems, of course, a killing spree on Chidera, already hinting that he's trying to get dominance in that laning phase. And with the right interference coming in from the side lanes, from the mid lane and the jungle, that can very well be the case. Having Baloyskie on this Kaja will mean that Geek Slate has a lot more ways to play around. And keep in mind that once the turtle is spawning, there's that Black Dragon form in the hands of Luke. And we know what this man can do if he is given the right tools to try and throw their opponent's formation in this array.
Okay, let's see here already. Composition-wise, I gotta lean for the side of Biggotron here. Why? Max on the Akai, that last pick, right? We talked about this. They should have just banned the Akai out.
Agreed.
But then again, with this Fredrin, let's see what will Janna be able to do. Change the gameplay, because in game one, he was a non-factor.
Yeah. I mean, right here, you can see Geek Slate play more around the winning lane. I think the Brody, this is where they need to put their center of attention to.
And later on, they have to make sure that they abuse the Cult Altar as well. This is one of the signature heroes for a boy, right? This Aramis, where he's able to output damage, provide utility, and still have that very amazing Cult Altar. And like we mentioned, when the fight gets dirty, when it gets really confusing and messy, the Cult Altar will be even more important. And a boy usually steps up in those critical situations for Geek Slate. So that is something they can very, very well rely on later on in the mid-game.
Well, again, we are now seeing here the setup, the first neutral objective. Perhaps we might see a first blood as well here. Let's see the turtle.
Luke with the Black Dragon form, zoning Max away. The Panda has to walk all the way across once again to look for a better position. Moreno has stolen away the Cult Altar, will pop it just then. Luke with Petrify and the furious dive there, but that's going to be the Divine Judgment locking him in place. Meanwhile, up top, there's a solo kill. Wow. Max jumping onto Luke with a heavy spin will mean that here it is going to be them conceding the turtle away to Geek Slate.
Perfect initiation there by the EXP laner. Luke, now, oh my god, Geek Slate, they want more.
Chorizo brought back to the team, jumps in with the Bravest Fighter, now onto a boy. He's going to be slain, but he has actually the Flicker to get out. That's another Flicker from Chorizo to respond the Flicker away. Chorizo now in the midst of it all, getting the passive as he taunts, gets taunted up. He is still able to survive for a bit, but Max gets a two-man stun, a knock-up. That's the comeback from Moreno as well. He's respawned. That's how long the fight has gone.
Biggotron Alpha.
What?
In the initial trade, in the initial exchange, they lost that trade, Arashi, but it seems like they are able to fight back.
In prolonged fights, they sure have a bit of an advantage here. Geek Slate does have a lot of rely a lot on those ultimates and the burst damage, which is why initially you saw that they had so much more success when Luke was able to just go in aggressively and shut down Saken. The question still remains right here, though. For Saken, right, he needs to survive from this burst damage. He cannot continue to get picked off in the middle of these skirmishes if he wants to be the pillar for Big Alpha to try and deal damage in the late game.
Goodness me, what the heck happened there? But now, take a look, minute number 4, and it's the 4-3. Total kill points here with 7, so early game. Very, very action-packed, but take a look at top side.
Oh, the wall charge canceled away by the Divine Judgment. Key going to be taken down here by Janna QT. Geek Slate back at it with the gold lead as Saken clears it out. Baloy's looking for a play. Slows Saken. Janna sandwiching him, but Max has rotated up top to provide the necessary backup. Saken is going to pop that Blazing Duet to clear the wave.
Saken already securing that DHS here in the 4th minute. Usually, though, I noticed that they secured that DHS minute number 3, so slightly behind here if we're talking about farm. But take a look at mid side. They're not going to commit to this, but yeah, they need to focus on farm. Brody has opted for that BOD first item. Take a look at this. No shoes here, Arashi. So very, very focused on that damage build for Brody.
I think he just wants to just go aggressively, and even if he can't really outrun the damage, he can just use his second spell to try and bounce off their opponents and actually get distance that way. But currently still waiting for the next turtle. That is where Geek Slate really can pinpoint and make sure that Big Alpha is in the right position for them to try and make the aggressive play on. Here is Saken being jumped on. Baloyskie pulls him back.
Divine Judgment with the wild charge as well right there to cancel out the torn apart memory. A good save by Key as Saken gets out, but that was really well played by Baloy. Just waiting on the BMI.
Exactly, both roamers, great, well played there. I mean, with the initiation and with the cover. But take a look at the neutral objective here. Let's see.
Oh, they need to reset it right here. It's going to be Max with a heavy spin, locking him in place. The Cult Ulcer by both teams placed down by Moreno and a boy. Now Max going to be taken down very low there by the Cult Ulcer HP, but he does the same thing to Luke. Both teams disengaging. Bigatron Alpha winning in this trade.
Oh, a very important turtle take there by Max. Again, of course, you're in a Kai. You should contest on that neutral objective. Heavy spin was the reason, and this is why. If not for that Akai, a different story. The top side now.
Baloy looking for the Divine Judgment. Flickers forward, gets it in the end. Right now, Sakin jumps back in with a Blazing Duet, dealing some damage, but a Torn Apart Memory takes Key down.
Wow.
Chidera with the crisp, clean calculation.
Oh, that's a very good exchange here. And take a look at this side. Yeah, I mean, Arashi, what can you see? What can you analyze from that earlier exchange?
I can help but feel that Max is actually doing so much better on the utility jungler right here. Early on in the Hayabusa, yes, he was farming a Storm, but he wasn't exactly a decisive factor for the side of Bigatron Alpha. And even later on, it just allows him, it causes him to not be able to contest for the neutral objectives. Now on the Akai, he can be a lot more proactive, he can stay his ground and go for those objectives, and it's allowing Bigatron to actually have a lot more control right here. As you take a look at the talent prediction, and get a bit of an interesting mix right here.
The Geek Slate army is growing.
It's growing. It's a zombie.
It's a zombie.
It's a zombie.
Oh, wait a minute. Cerezo fighting a zombie in the mid lane. A boy gets out, though.
At this point, still, they're focusing on the farm here. Both gold laners, right? Oh my god, Baloyskie.
Oh, that's a conceal, no flicker, though. Sakin reads it out properly, and Moreno was there to follow it up. The reaction there, no flicker, means this is why. When Kanye doesn't have flicker, it takes away a whole lot of the killing pressure.
And it's just a big game of chicken right now from both these roamers, right? At any point, they're just facing each other, waiting like, all right, what's coming first? The Wild Charge, the Divine Judgment? Because earlier, we saw that the Wild Charge was used first, but Baloy was able to wait it out and go for the engage afterwards. But now, with the turtle spawning, Geek Slate already takes full control over there, and the Black Dragon form is not even used yet.
Massive resource spent there, right? The heavy spin was utilized defensively, but Bigatron Alpha were able to find a trade. Now, in the top lane, you can see the tier 2. Wait, the tier 2 actually might be taken down. It's taken a very low HP, so honestly, not that bad of a trade. In the 8th minute of the game, Sakin has already finished that golden staff too, so looking at it, Bigatron are on their way to get that power spike.
Very good proactiveness as well. Looking for that trade, looking for that slight compensation even. And Geek Slate here, with this in mind, what do you think again, Arashi? Any particular, perhaps, movements or something that just stands out?
I feel like Geek Slate has a lot more advantage to play around with right here, but they're just a bit discouraged, and they're not really daring to go into the jungle of Bigatron Alpha. Considering how much kill pressure they have, they can just go for it.
Wow, the targeting from the captain, Baloy, with the flicker on point, right onto Moreno. What a play. This man right now is Jana. Tries his best to look for the top, but Sakin jumps back onto his BMI.
Well, looking at this situation now, right, the red robots, they are utilizing their composition very well here, contesting most neutral objectives, providing funneling gold for Sakin as well. And not a fun game for Moreno, but top side.
We're looking for more right now, so Reza with the stun, the wild charge as well onto Baloy. That's the Cult Ulcer by a boy, but now it's going to be the re-engage coming from Luke. With the Black Dragon form, Sakin with the BMI, running away right now. As Luke is looking for some more, but the Max comes in with a heavy spin. Oh my god, a boy brings them back. Max is low, Jana with the sandwich maneuver as the Divine Judgment locks Cerezo in place for a boy to pick up the kill. Now it's Geek Slate back on track, but Sakin somehow still is able to find a trade.
Wow, what a response by Geek Slate. Perfect re-engage by Luke. Thankfully though, Max, even though he has that heavy spin, not enough time. And take a look at the timing, Arashi. Perfect timing.
The Lord just spawned right here, so Bigatron Alpha, they're trying to go for this opportunity as well, but unfortunately, it backfires, and now Geek Slate are the ones going for it, and it seems like Bigatron are trying to contest and try and make a fight happen.
Sakin with the Blazing Duet right there as the Divine Judgment stolen away. The Lord does go in favor of Geek Slate, but Chidera finds a kill onto Key. That's going to be Bigatron and Geek Slate disengaging a dub for Geek.
A very well-timed execution by Geek Slate. They got the Lord even though they lost Luke, but Bigatron Alpha now will not have the gold lead. Moreno now, again, he needs to step up on this Valentina. Remember, key player. Oh, Baloy!
Baloy so good on the Kaja! You abandon Natalia and you get him the Kaja! It may be even worse for BTR as Baloy is just styling.
Oh my god, on towards the very crucial target as well, Moreno. We talked about Moreno on the Valentina, but not a fun performance here. Let's see the offense from Geek Slate.
You see that John is just trying to zone everyone away. And earlier we saw that at 8 minutes, the gold lead wasn't too different in the carry lanes. But look at this wild charge though.
4-man! That's a wild charge onto 4. Socket pops into Blazing Duet, but it's only onto a boy. 1 HP all alone. A boy gonna be taken down by Socket. 1 for 0. A boy back up just with a passive. Luke now popping into Black Dragon form. Not going to commit. They still have the gold lead. They noticed that it was only a boy caught, and it's okay.
Looking at the gold and the items right here, as I mentioned early on, the gold and the the gold lane and the mid lane didn't seem too different. But after that big fight for Big Alpha, they've kind of equalized right here. And Saken honestly has enough items to be a serious threat right now, but he needs to be a bit more flexible. He cannot rely only on going for the Blazing Duet in the back line. He needs to try and find ways to try and poke for damage and kite around the Black Dragon form like the other marksmen we've seen in the MPL so far. That is how he can deal with the Yutong and afterwards save some spells, but unless Baloy just goes for it.
Moreno with a called Alter Clutch there. The turret will be taken down, traded in for the Roamer. I think in this case, it actually might be worth it for BTR. Tier 2 for Rome?
You're right. I do see your point here. Tier 2 for Rome. They're still holding on. No clear objective on the board as well here, so they might take the fight, but take a look at Geek Slate.
There you go. That's where it's worth for Geek.
There you go. Geek Slate now maintaining and as well as increasing pressure as well in that mid side. All of Tier 2 is taken down.
Keep in mind though, once Geek Slate is unable to actually burst key down completely, this is where Bigatron Alpha has a chance to try and counter-engage onto the initial attempt of the Divine Judgment. So that's still quite far off right now though, as we take a look at the damage dealt. Boy and Kadera definitely up there, but Saken and Moreno aren't too far behind. So if they can stay alive and, like I said, kite around the bulk of the damage here. If you look at it, Geek Slate actually has quite the short range, so that is something that Bigatron Alpha can try and take advantage of, especially because if they are stuck together, that's where the AoE, the Terrify coming in from Moreno, can actually try and turn the tides of the game.
Let's see here. This setup seems like Geek Slate, they're more confident in grabbing more grounds here in the turtle, Lord area, Lord Pit, rather. Bigatron Alpha still nervous, it seems like, playing in from the backside, looking for more information. Max jumps in.
Oh, pinning Jana down, but that's gonna be Luke jumping into the Black Dragon for the Retribution. Goes to Jana, QT! Key petrified, the Divine Judgment connecting onto Moreno, who's able to flicker away, but a boy with a Shadow Stampede brings Max back. Saken now with Wind of Nature and the Blazing Duet. The damage is just a stun to 2 members. Chorizo going in, but Chidero flickers out of the Bravest Fighter.
Oh my
and
God.
just like that, Geek Slate have taken 3-4-0.
What the heck? Geek Slate! A boy now looking for the end here. 2 members. They're looking for the end. Max and Key, can they defend?
I don't think so, Connie. It's a disaster for Bigatron Alpha. The Divine Judgment right there. The cannon minion was cleared out. Max trying to survive. He does get out. The mid waves, though, it's coming crashing in. Moreno, 1 second up here. Max with the heavy spin, defending with his life. Moreno jumping in, but it's going to be the base wide open with the Enhanced Lord finally getting in range. Now is the defense. Will they be able to defend? It is a no. That's the answer. Geek Slate with a reverse sweep.
Wow! A reverse sweep by the Geeks! Baloyskie and friends, they've managed to turn the series around, and Bigatron Alpha, another casualty here by the hands of Jana.